What's the most outlandish thing that your kids have told you that you thought was a lie, but turned out to be the truth? 1. When my niece Kara was 2, I picked her up from daycare for my brother. The daycare lady tells me that this little girl has quite the imagination. You can't believe what crazy stories she tells. I ask her to recount one of the stories. Kara has told her this story. I was riding with Daddy on the ATV and we found a dead cow laying in the field. The dead cow blew a big bubblegum bubble out of her butt. The bubble popped and there was a baby calf inside. The calf jumped up and started blowing on the cow and she came back to life. Yep, pretty much true story from the eyes of a 2-year-old. She described a cow laying down birthing a calf. When the calf tried to nurse, the cow got back up. 2. We live in SW, Florida and I was dating a girl who had a 3-year-old daughter. We regularly went to the beach where we found shark teeth, usually well under a ½ inch long. One day the daughter was with me and I had a bit of car trouble, so I pulled over next to an empty field. She said that it looked like a good place to look for shark teeth. I figured it would keep her busy for a while. As I was finishing, she came to me and said she found a shark tooth but couldn't get it. Thinking she found a rock, I told her really we could go look. There it was, a megalodon tooth about 4 inches long. 3. When he was 6, my son came in all excited from the garden and popped a stone he'd found into my hand. He told me he'd found a Stone Age tool. I chalked it up to a vivid imagination, but to appease him, told him we could ask the head of the local historical society for his opinion. We did that a few months later, and the man's eyes popped out of his head. He was also a delegate for the state archaeology office and said he needed to send the stone to the museum in Stuttgart for a professional opinion. He was pretty sure it was a primitive tool. As it turned out, the stone was a boring tool used to make holes in leather for sewing pieces of leather together. It dated back to the late Stone Age. How my 6-year-old recognized that I had no idea. 4. When my daughter was 3, she discovered that it was fun to tell stories, made up stories that, for the most part, were harmless. My husband and I spent a good amount of time explaining that as fun as stories were, they were really telling lies since the people who heard them didn't know they were stories. We live in a very rural part of Maine with lots and lots of wildlife. My daughter was familiar with a myriad of bugs, birds and snakes. She loved all kinds of animals and often her stories involved them. My lovely daughter comes traipsing out of her bedroom and plops down on the rug with our dog. Mom, she says there is a big snake in the bedroom. Really? A big snake? Not a little one? Is it napping? It's big. He looks not nice. So I get down to her level and explain again that telling stories is not nice. I set her on the sofa for a time out, which she takes quietly. When it's done, I notice she is staunchly avoiding the bedroom. Sarah, can you help mommy and go get your laundry? She tells me she can't because that's where the snake is sleeping. I'm pretty irritated now since her room is on the other side of the house away from all the entrances and exits. I walk back there, reach down to get the basket and there is a huge snake in there. I'm talking the Maine equivalent of a python. The thing is 2 inches thick and probably 3 feet long. I screamed like a kindergartner. My daughter comes trotting back and asks if the snake is still sleeping. No, he was not. It took me 2 hours to find it and get it outside. My daughter got an apology and an ice cream cone for her troubles. I never doubted her after that. 5. Honey, I've told you, no tall tales. We're late. Get your backpack and let's get going. My youngest was 6 and known for being a jokester. My husband and older daughter were homesick and I was buzzing around trying to get them settled and Rosie and I out the door for school and work. It's really their mommy. I promise, come look. There's a peacock in the back. I knew she would not be happy until I complied. By now I had given up trying to figure out her jokes. I look out the back door and sure enough there's a peacock strutting his stuff around our backyard. Not a clue how he got there or where he came from. But he was beautiful. Funny how time concerns just melt away when there's an out-of-the-ordinary surprise. It's now a wonderful memory of a fun morning.